Hi YouTube, it's Angelica. Welcome to my channel, Beautiful Moments 100. And today I'm going to try to solve a problem for you that I have, and I'm sure a lot of other people have, is how to manage your new growth. So, as some of you may know, I am over a year post-relaxer. So I have a lot of regrowth, and it used to not bother me, but now it's getting to the point where it's really obvious. And you know, whether or not you have a little bit of regrowth or a lot of regrowth, this should be useful to you. I'll show you the technique that I use and just smoothing it out. I'm going to section my hair. You should make a perfectly straight part in the back so that you don't pull hair down from the top. This is the flat iron that I use. It's the ISO Tattoo. Bought it a long time ago. It works really well. And I've got it set on about 200 degrees. That may seem like it's a really high temperature, but in hair world, it's actually a very low temperature. So typically when I flat iron my hair, if I'm going to flat iron it to be bone straight, I'll set it at 450. So what I'm going to do is apply a small amount of heat just so that the new growth can blend in with the rest of my hair. I've already got heat protectant spray in my hair from when I blow dried it. How I blow dried my hair, I will put a link here. And it's essentially the same process. The only difference is I don't put any of the products in except for the heat protectant spray until after I do this step. And I'm just going to slowly drag it down to where I think my new growth is. And I'm only going to do that like 3 times. Do smaller sections, you can probably just do it once. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then as I move up, I will do smaller sections because it'll be more important, because people will be able to see those sections. I'm getting as close to my roots as I can. Okay, so I'm back, and I know you're loving this style I got going on here. Huge turn on, right? Okay, so I did the rest of my hair. I sectioned this out so you can see how I do the front. And I'll get this stuff out of the way because that's the area that I did. It took me less than 5 minutes. And just keep in mind, focus on the parts that people can really see. So the front area and around your ears, to me, are the most important parts. I get as close to the scalp as I can. And I pull down only to cover my new growth. And that's it. And I don't even need to put that part back. I can just move on to the next section. Same thing. Right now I'm focusing on this little widow's peak area up front because that sometimes gets frizzy. And pulling it down as far as I think my new growth goes. If I was looking in an actual mirror, I would be able to see. And that's it. The main things to keep in mind is to use a very low heat, use heat protectant spray, and focus on the areas that you can see. So now that I'm done with that part, the next 2 steps are very important, especially for my type of hair. I need to add protein and moisture. So I sectioned off my hair. First, I spray my protein spray because that's the most important for my hair right now. If my hair really was dry and needed moisture, then I put the moisturizer on first. So whichever one I want to absorb most, I put in first because my hair is freshly washed, so it has hopefully little to no buildup. So whatever product I put in next better be important. So I'm spraying it on my hand, not in my hair, and I'm rubbing it so that I don't get any huge puddles. My hands are barely wet. And I'm starting at the bottom and working my way to the top. And I just keep moving my hands until it's completely dry. That will help prevent my curls from reactivating. I'm not going to put my moisturizer in yet. I'm going to move on. That way the protein treatment can absorb while I'm doing the rest of my hair. So I've got all the protein in my hair, and you can tell that it looks slightly healthier. And it is slightly healthier. The next step is the moisturizer, which is more difficult. Even though my protein treatment is a liquid, the moisturizing treatment is meant to be moisturizing. It's meant to add moisture to your hair. So this is the part where it is really easy to accidentally reactivate your curls. So you have to be extremely careful. And if you're nervous about it, just use some coconut oil. It's easier to do it with coconut oil. Okay, that being said, we do the same process. And I'll just show you it at the bottom, and then I'll go through the whole thing like I did last time and show you the results. Now, it's so important that I do not use a lot. I'm using that much. I rub it in my hands, and it's greatly dispersed. Starting at the ends again, and remember, you have to pull down, actually not like really hard, but pretty hard, because what you're doing is if your curls are trying to reactivate, you are pulling them down and saying, no, you're not reactivated, you're staying straight, essentially. And I like to make sure that I'm pushing my palms in so that each hair is getting covered, and then I'm raking through with my fingers so that each hair is getting covered. And there you go. And hopefully you can see on camera the difference between this side and that side. Look at how much healthier that looks. And just so I don't overdo it, tonight before I go to bed, I'll do the coconut oil because I want this to have a chance to completely dry out and absorb before I put in the coconut oil. So I finished adding the moisturizer, and you can see my hair looks a lot more manageable. And you can also see that the moisturizer added a little bit of heaviness to my hair, which helped to blend in my new growth with my regular hair, as well as obviously when I use the flat iron. Now you can see the texture between my new growth and my relaxed hair isn't as jarring. It's not as obvious that I have two different textures of hair. I hope you found this helpful. There are a lot of other ways that I do sort of blend my new growth in with my hair, and I'll just give you some of those tips and tricks as we go along in other videos. Let me know in the comments down below what you use on your new growth. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.